Hello, welcome to JAV Show. This is Jorge.
And this is Viv.
And we be chilling. Hello.
Hello, guys.
Halloween just passed when we take
Halloween did not just pass.
No, when we post this.
Oh, yes.
Halloween would have just passed. So we can't really ask what we did for Halloween because we were recording this before that. Are you dressing up this year?
I am not.
Oh, do you usually dress up every year?
I feel like I kind of try to dress up most years, or at least think of an idea.
Like a ghost blanket over your head?
What? Like, I'm dressing up for, or a little bit, for volleyball on Monday.
Oh, what are you gonna...
But I'm not really gonna do
much. As a volleyball player?
Fucking idea what I'm gonna do.
Oh.
I'm not gonna buy anything for it.
You could be a hooker.
No, thanks.
But what are the options if you don't want to buy anything for it?
I mean, you can do some interesting face makeup. Last year, I painted a skull on my face, or made my face into a skull.
I guess you count that as dressing up. It just feels like you're.
It's enough. I feel it for volleyball. I'm not gonna wear something that hinders how I play.
That's true.
Or makes me extra sweaty.
I've seen people wear like full costumes. That's like
wild.
Yeah, I was
like
no
fucking
way.
onesies and shit.
Yeah. I was like,
holy
no
shit, I cannot.
If I was tier 4, maybe. There's nowhere lower to go. You know what I mean? So there's no point in carrying that much, right?
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
But other than that, I feel like I'd be so.
Oh, is this a phone holder?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, actually, for that. So this last week, I was actually quite busy this week, but I went to an APEGA event. Pretty much, it's an inaugural PNG event. So people who just got their PNG. It's crazy. I saw like 3 or 4 people that I used to go to school with.
Oh shit!
And then one of them was sitting at my table, and he was the one I did my year 3 project with.
Oh,
and we literally just. I felt bad for Joyce because she came with me, but me and him just chat the whole time because we were like catching up, right? Like I haven't seen him for like almost 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So you're just talking about like life, how things are, what we're doing now.
Are you pretty good friends with him?
I feel, well, it's hard to say. Like during the project, like we have hung out outside of school.
Yes.
So I do consider us friends. And during the project, it was kind of a rough project because, so it was me, him, and his friend, us 3, and then 2 other people. One of the person was some random Indian guy. I don't even remember his name, but he did dick all. Like he's one of those guys who just like doesn't do anything. Like literally just like shows up to like half the meetings, don't do anything. It's just, I don't know. I feel like school has a flawed system where like you can't do anything about it. Like you could like write some random shit to the prof about it, but they can't really do much about it and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's other random Asian girl. So that random Asian girl, she was also not that bright, but she tried. Like she showed up, and then I just told her to do whatever and she'd do it. And then my friend and his friend, they weren't like, they're not dumb by any means, but they're not very academically up there. And like, because it's a school project and it's a theoretical one, it's very academic based.
Okay.
So I knew how to do everything. So I just like assigned them shit to do for me. And then I just put it all together and then I just finished.
You fucking nerd.
So I kind of carried that for them. But still, we did hung out like outside of school and stuff. So I do consider him a friend. And so it was pretty cool.
Pretty nice seeing him, asking him what he's up to nowadays. Yeah,
I mean, a part of me always thinks this. No matter what anyone says and no matter how I think or feel, I think most people think that is like, oh, did I like fuck up in my life? Am I not as far as I should be? You know, I think a lot of people, especially people our age, have that question or that concern or worry. And he's doing great too. But at least like us talking to each other, you know, it wasn't like we strayed that far away from the path. And you know, it's sometimes nice to hear about other people's struggle. Like we're both struggling with that question, right? So to hear someone that's my peer that's also have that question, that we also went to the same school and we're also doing like similar type of work, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not alone in this, right? Like I'm not the only one with these questions about my passion and my career and things like that, right?
What are your specific questions about your passion and your career?
Oh, it's just like, well, it's not specific. Okay, it is, but the question would be like, am I doing what I really want to do?
Right? In terms of engineering?
So like, I know I want to do things in engineering and I know there are parts of engineering I really enjoy, but like, for example, is working for me in oil and gas consulting what I really want to do forever, right? And then if the answer's no, then what should I be doing to get there? And maybe what I should be doing is what I'm doing right now. Is like, you know, in the field I am, gaining experience, learning more about the world before I can really venture off, right? I've always said and told many people, it's like, every time you try something, it's like, you don't just learn what you want to do forever. You specifically also learn, and it's much more valuable or even more important, what you don't want to do. Right? So it's like you have to go through these hardships of doing shit you don't want to do all the time to really figure out what you really want to do, if that makes sense. Right? Because like if you already know what you want to do at like age 20 and then you just do that forever, I feel like that's really unrealistic, because you change, life change, the world change, society change, the people you meet change, right? So then whatever that thing is not is bounded by time and change. So therefore that thing that you love might change, and you might change, and therefore you might diverge in path, right? So then I think what's important is like to learn to have the beginner's mentality, and then to also like realize and move forward afterwards, right? So it's like if I end up stuck in a job I don't like for a year, don't feel shitty about it, because if you didn't take this year to truly figure out that you didn't like this, it would always be a question in your mind, like would you like this field or not?
Yeah,
right?
Like you should fail fast.
Yeah. So, but then like the fact that you did it, and you did it for X amount of time, whatever that time might be. Like I'm just putting a year out there, but it could be like a couple months, it could be a couple years. But sometimes to really learn something, it takes that long, right? Like you don't know if you don't like this specific field. You do it for like 3-4 years, and you're like, oh, like I feel like I'm almost an expert at it now, and I don't like it. And then I think a lot of people get trapped where it's like, oh, I'm already in this for so long, I'm a subject matter expert, I can get more money this way. And to be honest, yeah, I see the desire in that, especially if you're at the stage where you start to have a family and things. Stuff gets a bit harder, right? Because it's harder to tell that person's like, oh, take a 20% pay cut to do this other thing now, right? So I see why they do that, but at the same time, knowing that you always have another next path, then that means you just have to move on, take that pay cut if it's necessary, and then learn something different, something new that you like, right?
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, like
some people are really afraid to take that, even if there's not much risk. Just the fact that it's something new. Yeah,
I think that is scary. Like, I think my career has been very eventful compared to a lot of people I know.
I would say so.
But even for myself, I always wonder if I'm not doing enough, or if I should have stayed in one company for a bit longer and got that, experience and seniority and stuff like that. But then it will go against my virtue of like having that beginner's mentality. Like I hate having to be a beginner, but the more you do it, the better you are at it. Like like it's so weird. It's like we've learned since kindergarten, but I still think some people are better than others at it.
That's really respectful.
And then like taking that like beginner's mentality where I like go into this new job, I'm literally, my knowledge level is the same as the fucking intern. But then doing something.
I wouldn't say.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I think the biggest experience I have is just like learning to learn, right? I've been in so many different, not so many, okay, like that's kind of an exaggeration, but I've been in a lot of different fields and scenarios where it's like, I feel like I can pick up things a lot faster now compared to before. But it is always scary. It's always like, hey, do you want to go and do this thing you've never done that you probably suck at, compared to this thing that you're super good at? I was like, a lot of people will probably say no.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to like. I'm always excited when someone like asks me to like, do you want to join this job or this company and do this thing? And it always excites me because it's like, oh, holy shit, that's something new, something cool, right? But then it is true, like sometimes in the world you kind of have to stay in one spot for a bit longer, but I don't think that's completely true. I think it's a little bit made up, especially with like advancement of like technology and AI. I feel like that's gonna be less and less the case. Like the ability to learn is gonna be even more important.
I agree.
Because
like your soft skills are going to become more important than your hard skills in some ways.
Yeah, and the people who get really good at one thing, I'm not gonna like straight up shit on them, but like one day AI might just learn everything you know in like 3 seconds, and then it's just like shitty if you don't learn how to learn.
Yeah,
or because you spent 10 if you spent 10 years doing this and you don't learn a better way of learning it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, no, like talking to him at the event, it was kind of relieving for me because it was like, oh, okay, like, you know, the peers I have in engineering, because to be honest, like more than half the people I know in engineering aren't engineers anymore. Just I feel like it's the most over advertised field or discipline or faculty.
I would say that too. There's a lot of engineers that I know that either hate engineering or just aren't engineers anymore, or they're like, oh, one day I'm gonna leave.
I think it was it was advertised. Whoever was the marketing of the faculty of engineering did really, really well. But then the end result was not the same as the advertisements of it. Yeah. So then it's cool to like know someone that is still in it, similar path as me, and we still have the same questions, right? And it just makes me feel a bit more normal, because I feel like a long time I felt, not that I wasn't normal, but like everyone I know or we know, even within our group of friends, they've only had like one job.
Yeah.
Right. So then for me, it feels weird. It's like, oh,
like they stuck at the same company for fucking
like
so
8 to 10 years or something like that. And it's cool because when you see them, they're like, oh, they have seniority, they have more vacation, they have, you know, more trust with the company, which makes sense, right? It makes complete sense that they have that trust and all that stuff with the company. But then for me, like a part of me was always like, oh man, if I stayed, I could have also been in that position. But then I also would probably hate my life, to be honest, because I need that variability, that change.
I can see that.
Yeah. So
I feel like it also takes a lot just to want to stay at a company for that long.
That's true too. There is respect in that. Yeah.
I feel like the people that we know that stay at the companies that they do for a long time, they like love their coworkers and
the
values of the company and everything. They really align with it versus like for me personally, I've been working at my company for over 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been fucking forever.
Yeah, that's above my limit. I mean, I've never stayed at one place for more than 3 years so far in my career.
That's how I'm feeling.
And like right now, I'm 2.5 years in, and I'm getting a new position that's not at my company anymore. So it's kind of like I'm essentially changing my role now, right? So that'll be fresh, but yeah, it's cool. It makes me feel like I feel confused and lost, but we all are. So then it makes me feel less shitty about that.
I mean, everyone's just figuring it out as they go, really, right?
Yeah. 100%. It's just like some people I know, they have more of that stability with work, so then they worry about other things, which makes sense. But for me, I'm pretty focused on.
I would say there's also some people that are less focused on their careers too.
Yeah. And like I don't blame them. I think I've always said this before. It's like some people just want to go to their job and then do it and then come home. Like they don't want to like think about their work outside of work.
Yeah.
Right. But for me, I feel like I'm so used to that. Like I think it started with school. Like Eng, it's always like you don't not think about Eng in the 4 years. Like when you're not doing Eng, you're thinking about Eng because you still have something to do all the time, right? So then when you start working, it's like when I'm doing my, like for me, the worst thing is like leaving work or job or whatever, and I have a deadline and the thing's not done. And I feel like, oh, I should really get this done, right?
Yeah.
Like it's okay if it's not done and I have enough timeline and I have like a decent deadline. But most of the time, for most people, they know how to do it. They just need to take the time to do it, right? Yeah. But sometimes I have like technical challenges at my job, and it's cool because it's like it's kind of stressful. You don't know how to even do it, right? So you don't know if it'll take 1 hour to do or if it'll take 10 hours to do. Yeah. But you know right now you do not have the knowledge and expertise to do this, right? And then that actually kind of excites me because that's what gets me thinking a lot.
Because you're problem solving and actually like challenging yourself in that way. Like, I can see it.
Some work problems are more bureaucratic and more just like, hey, where do I find this form? And then, hey, how do I fill out this form? Right? There's no like real thought process. It's more like, how did you do it last time? You send me a copy and I'll do it. Right? But this one's like, oh, no one's done this ever in this company. And you have to go figure it out. And if you tell your boss, like, hey, I'm going to take an extra day because I can't figure this out right now, like, he can never get mad at you because he also don't know how to do it. Right?
That's kind of like what happens at my company, too.
Yeah. And that gets like really exciting for me because it's like, okay, I'm actually working on important shit that isn't easily solved. Whereas everything else I've always thought of is like I'm
trailblazing this.
Yeah. Whereas like everything else is always like there's a process, there's a way of doing it. Like for example, when I was construction, like we know how to pour concrete. The problem is like how do we plan this to work with other groups so we can, you know, be efficient with our resources, etc., right? Whereas this one's like, hey, dude, no one's ever fucking done this before, so like figure it out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I went to that event and yeah, it was fun. It was chilling. It was surprisingly I wouldn't say good food, but like they gave you a lot of food. Like I couldn't finish the entree.
Whoa. Yeah. You couldn't finish the entree?
No one on my table finished their entree.
What the fuck? What was the entree?
It was this like giant beef short rib, like this big.
Holy shit.
So like literally like a brick. If you guys are thinking
Yeah,
about it. Like
it's
a
actually
brick.
like a brick.
Yeah, and then I swear they put like 1.5 whole carrots. So you know how they like cut up a carrot and then they steam and they put the herbs on it.
Yeah.
It was literally 1.5 whole carrot. Like I could put the stuff together and it will make 1.5 whole carrots.
Holy shit! Like a carrot from where? TNT or Superstore? Because those are completely different size
you're
carrots.
right. You're right. It's like a between because like TNT has those really fat ones.
Yeah, they're like fucking dildos.
They're like giant fat, and then Superstar has this really tiny little tiny finger one.
Yeah,
or like the skinny one. This is like halfway between. So not as fat
Average
as the TNT
size.
ones. Yeah, but not as skinny as the Superstar ones.
Magnum.
And then there was like mashed potato, and then there's beets also.
Holy shit!
I was like, I mean, part of it was I was chatting with my friend the whole time, and they're like rushing through the course because it's like dinner, like they actually like serve you and stuff. And it was like, you know, salad, soup, entree.
That's where all your Pega application money goes to.
Dude, so when I was talking to my friend, like there was a sheet of how many people just turned to PNG and this is what the dinner's for. So it's like you either just got your PNG or you just became a lifetime member. It's like you've been with Pega for like X amount of years, like 20 plus years or something like that.
So then you never... What happens at that point? Like you just... Even if you quit engineering, you're always in a part of a Pega or what?
Yeah, you can always be called an engineer if you're a lifetime member afterwards, even if you stop practicing. Yeah. That's the whole thing about it. And then, so like, of the sheet of people who just turned PNG, I think like maybe 10% of the people actually like replied and said like, yeah, I want to come to this dinner.
Oh,
so
shit.
it wasn't many people. But yeah, it was like a small thing. I was like, fuck, if I pay this much every year, which I don't, because technically my company pays for this fee. I was like, if I pay this much this year, I'm at least getting free dinner from it. So that's why I went.
How many people were there?
There was, say, like 16 tables. There's about 8 people per table. So it's not like a lot of people, to be honest, considering like the booklet of people who just turned PNG this year and just turned lifetime member.
And the entire fucking Pega
yeah. So there wasn't that many people. Like it took like a small conference room was what the whole event took.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't that big. It was like I said, 16 tables. That's like, imagine, I think one of our friends.
It's like a wedding. Almost.
Yeah, but like even like half that size, right? Yeah. So it was chilling. It was a fun event. The coolest part for me was just like meeting people that I used to see in school. Like I think one other person I saw, she and her boyfriend, now husband, now she's pregnant. They went to Fort Mac after they graduated, and I didn't see her till now again. Right?
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, damn. I mean, I think it's the same shit though. Everyone just hates Eng still. I mean, like, yeah, we're still doing this.
We're still here.
Yeah.
You're definitely one of the only people that. One of the very few, less than a handful of engineers that I know that genuinely love engineering.
Yeah, I mean, like, considering it's my hobby, as in, like, I do 3D printing, CNC routering, all this other shit on my free time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, I think. Like, if I had my own place, I would have, like, a workshop. Like a 3D printer next to CNC router, next to all my tools, next to a bunch of random shit. Right? Just because I don't have my own place, I don't want to, like, you know, take up too much space at my parents' place.
It's just everywhere.
It's just not organized.
The fucking coffee table over there is a CNC machine, and behind it is the fucking 3D printer.
Yeah, but if not, it'd be way more organized, which would be super cool. Yeah, and I guess since I already talked about my week, is there anything else that's interesting? I think this week we shitted on volley. Like we did really bad on volleyball, so for sure we're not going up to tier 1, which is a relief.
Fortunate on Mondays. We're dropping. It's okay.
Yeah, it's I think 2 of our teammates injured their finger like during the game.
Holy shit!
Not like I actually don't know how badly, but like, you know, jammed their finger and stuff, and they just couldn't pass properly, like for obvious reasons. And I was like, whatever, it is what it is. And what else happened? Super busy at work, so just got some more stuff done at work. And then I showed my boss. I told him, I was like, hey, I'm going to Mexico next week. And he's like, he really wants to present this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna like make it super pretty, and when you're back, we'll do a meeting right before we do the meeting with the boss. I was like, sure, whatever.
Like he's gonna make it really pretty.
Yeah. Because like I just like got it to a point where it's like, hey, everything's working. Like everything you asked for.
Yeah.
So pretty much the whole point of my job for the last little bit was take all these things we do in Excel that we're trying to migrate to these other, you know, online platform and services, and then now start making all these reports we used to make in Excel, but now in Power BI. So then we never have to like, you know, copy paste, do all these formulas, change all these things just to get the reports to work, right? Like just get to work just like that, right?
Yeah.
Which I did for like one of their workbooks notebooks. So like,
well, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm creating an automated program
yeah,
that takes in PM documents and creates all the other like data documents that we need
yeah,
from it.
yeah.
Pretty
So
cool.
I don't know how you're doing it because you're some way more complicated than mine. Mine's just literally just like getting all this stuff into a database, and then from the database, I take it out, and then I tell them how I want to curate it in the database, and then I take that curated data and I turn them into what I need in the reports.
Oh yes, I'm kind of making a program that takes over your job.
Yeah.
In the sense, like you enter a project management data that has the entire scope of what the client needs and everything that they need, and you put in that data and the client's information and everything, you put in that document, and then that my program would extract all that information and turn it into 6 different documents that we personally work with on the inside.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. No, so a little different, but yeah, yeah. Mine is like working with the already, like for example, the project already lasted for like however long, so they already have a schedule, but turning that schedule data into other metrics through APIs that go through the database and then to me, and then I just create the outputs. And to them, it's, I don't know, like I'm surprised that no one else is doing this, just because like it's actually pretty complex stacks I have to use to get to some of the results I get. Like some of it is like pretty long pages just to get to what I need. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun so far.
Cool.
Hopefully they will give me like OT in the new year to keep working on this, because I told them I want to and I'm willing to.
Yeah.
But there's this other opportunity. It's such a stop and go project where like I'll work a lot for like 2 weeks, and then there'll be like 2 weeks of me doing nothing.
Why?
Because I'm just waiting for other people to like approve this, to fill this stuff out, to like get this going, right? So a lot of times, I think the biggest thing for a while was like they didn't have clean enough data for me to actually test my things on. So I was like, I can't tell you if I'm right or not, because like your data's shit. Like you have duplicates, you have all this bad shit in your data, right?
Were you the one that fixed the data?
I told them, oh yeah. So eventually they kept having problems with it, and then they asked me, like, hey, can you build something to fix it? And then I just like threw in some Power BI stuff to like essentially generate an output where it's like, hey, these are the ones that are fucked up, and these are the ones that you have to fix. And then they took that and they took the export of that, and then they fixed those things. But that's just simple. Like for me, a lot of times, like if they tell me what they need and they show me an example or exactly what they need, then I can create it pretty easily.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's fun. But yeah, I was busy for that because I think he wanted it ASAP. So then I actually worked quite a bit more this week than my normal weeks, and I'm working from home now until I start my new position.
Oh yeah, for a month, eh?
Yeah, I really wish I had a standing desk at home because my back's dying now.
Why'd you lower your chair?
This one cannot go any lower. I just bought this new one, and I feel like it's for midgets or something, or just people slightly shorter or like smaller frame than me, which is weird. Like I'm maxed out on the chairs, and like the headrest is at the max and all this stuff. And it's just like, I don't know about this one. And like the weird thing is like the headrest is the max, but I think the arm bar is like too low. So it's like, it's for someone that's like slightly shorter than me, but has longer arms than me. So it's like, maybe I'm fucked up, or maybe the people that this is targeting is fucked up.
It kind of reminds me of my chair at work. We replaced all our office chairs like a month ago.
Yeah.
And then the headrest is also maxed out for me.
Yeah.
But then the armrest for the table, it like slides right under my desk at the lowest point. And so I can't ever, if I'm like sitting right up to my desk, I can't put my hands or my arms on the armrest, or else it'll like just smash into the table.
Do you
slide in?
Do you ever do the slide your chair as close as you can to the desk, slouch down, and then
I do that all the time. That's literally how I sit.
Dude, when I swear I've been the most productive in that state. I've been the most productive where my chair's all the way up to the desk. I'm slouched all the way down, so my head's only a little bit above the desk, and my like dinosaur arms are like typing away.
I have a blanket in my office too, and so I have that wrapped around me too. And so whenever someone comes by, they're like, "Oh, Viv, you look so comfy," and I'm like, "I am."
It's probably not good for your back,
my back is gonna hurt like crazy.
Yeah, that's like my most productive state. But at the same time, because of my back, I can't do that anymore. But having a stand-up setup is pretty nice, because the other thing I really like to do that I found out more so that I like to do is I like to pace when I'm working.
Oh yeah,
so like I'll work a bit, and then I'll come to a problem, and then I'll like pace a couple circles, and all of a sudden I'll like figure it out, which is pretty cool.
I heard that actually helps. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they mentioned that pacing helps because it gives your brain a new environment to focus on instead of just staring at the same thing. And that's how you come up with solutions faster.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think in the past I haven't need to do that because like when you're in construction, you're always moving around. Like I'd be at my desk for half an hour and all of a sudden get a call, oh, I have to go to site, and then just walk away and I'll just go there, right? But usually that's nice too because during that time, like driving to and from site, I actually sometimes figure out problems while I'm just sitting there and driving. Yeah, right? Like you just think of like, oh, this is what I should have done. And you go back. Like sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, fuck, I gotta write this down before I forget because I was like, you know, you're about to go to site and you're like, oh, this is exactly what we need to do, right? So I mean that's nice having that. But definitely having standing desk helps. I hope I get one. I mean I should get one in my new job. If I don't, I'll obviously bitch about it. I'm like, dude, this is for my back. Like I'll actually hate myself. And yeah, the whole thing about it if I don't get a standing desk.
Why don't you get a standing desk at home?
I should. I've been lazy. I guess it depends on how much I'll hate myself this coming month. So we'll see. Because it does cost some monies to do it. Like if I do it, I want to do it properly too.
Do you have a health spending account?
I maxed out everything now. I'm pretty close to maxing out everything, so I'd have to wait till.
Makes sense. It's like the end of the year, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, technically, my year beginning starts in March or something.
Oh
so
shit!
I'm really fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the shitty fucking physios I went to that didn't help. That wasted all my money. Yeah, no, because if I want to do it, I want to do it the right way. Like I want to buy the standing desk legs, and then you buy your own table, like
you just add them on top,
a nice wood table, and then you like screw them together so they're attached, and then like that's the proper way to do it in my opinion. Or you can get that plastic thing where you just like lift up and it's only like half your desk that goes up. I have that at work and it's cool. But if I ever do like a true home office, I would like that setup instead. Which I have no idea what's gonna like happen at home, just because I don't know. I think right now I'm in a really fucking weird situation where it's like I could move out, but it doesn't make sense because Joyce is in Red Deer half the time. It's like if I got a place for 2 people, but the other person's only there 2 weeks of the month, that's kind of like why the fuck am I moving out
for yourself?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I'm pretty chill with my parents. There's no issues there, and it's like
that's like me too. Like I could move out, but then like. At the same time, I'm not really in any rush. Yeah. My parents and I have an okay relationship. They give me all the space I need.
Yeah, no, exactly. My dad even went up to me because I always told him, I was like, I want to get like an old place and fix it up because they have like bigger lots, bigger yards and stuff. Because the new houses have actually really tiny lots or tiny yards.
They do.
Yeah, like just on average. I know some people that we know of have like a pretty big yard, but on average new property lots have like pretty small yards. So I was like, I feel like that's such an important summer thing. It's just having a nice lot and just like people outside with the barbecue and things.
I agree. And if you have a dog, I would want a big enough yard for my dog to run around.
Yeah, just to run circles, chase birds, shit like that, right? What Taro does. Yeah. So I always told him, I was like, I want to get an old place and get it renovated. And he's like, why don't you just live here? Like this place is already renovated. This is an old house. We have a pretty big lot. Like our yard is pretty big relative to, you know, the newer houses. So I was like, that's true, and my parents don't really mind. But then I did tell my parents, like, if that's the case, then eventually we got to do some, like, changes. Yeah. Because I was like, if Joyce is, even if Joyce is going to, like, say, stay here 2 weeks of the month, instead of, so right now she only comes over, like, on the Saturday, and that's it. Yeah. I was like, we're going to have to, like, do some stuff with the basement. And he's like, yeah, he's cool with that. So I was like, okay, maybe. We'll see.
That'd be pretty sick, actually.
I mean, it's not much. It's just, like, give her more storage space, but clean up the place a bit more. I got to clean up my stuff. Like, some of the stuff I have to ship over to Joyce's house. Like technically that CNC machine's hers. I just helped her like fix it.
The inside a little bit.
Kind of, but I feel like there's not much left to do in terms of like major renovation. It's just like making the place better, functional. Like the storage actually being used as storage. Because right now, like my family's crazy. Like not my parents, actually maybe my parents, but I think my aunt too, but like they store some like old ass clothes and shit. They're like hoarders. Like they don't want to throw it away. Yeah. They don't want to throw away that shit. I was like, dude, you're never gonna wear it. It's literally deteriorating. Cause like if you've like taken out old clothes, they literally like start shredding to pieces. Yeah. If it's like really old. So I was like,
I can imagine it.
It's literally dying and you're not gonna use it. Like, why the fuck do you guys still keep it?
That's what I try to tell my parents.
Yeah.
My mom's always trying to keep things, say, oh, it's still in good condition. Or every single year, I'll purge some of my stuff. Yeah. And my goal is to always at least throw away or donate 2 garbage bags of stuff. Yeah. And then fucking the last few years, I'll have the stuff be put on the driveway, be put on the side of the house where they're like ready for their pickup and everything. And I'll see my mom the next day going through it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And she'll be like, but you're wasting some of this stuff. She's like, let me keep it. And like one of the things that I saw her pick back up was I bought these fake flowers that came on stems for a Halloween costume from dollar store. I ripped off all the fake flowers off of it to like create my costume, so it only had the stems and some of the fake leaves on it.
Okay, yeah.
It looked like trash, of course.
Yeah.
My mom took those back and she was like, I think I can create some sort of decoration for the house on them. And I was like, Mom, no matter where you put this, it's gonna look like shit. It's gonna look like you threw some crap in the corner of the house and it's gonna look cheap and bad. And she's like, no, I swear I can make it look nice. And she fucking just stuffed it in this kitchen cabinet and it's been there for an entire year.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. I love purging this shit. Like,
me too. It feels so good to throw away shit.
Oh, it's just sometimes, like, for me, I feel like I'm at the point with clothing where I feel like I have not much left to purge.
That's like me too.
Because the stuff I have left to purge are like mostly like gifts, and even then I'm kind of like iffy on like pretty much just like, do I actually wear this? And if no, I actually want to purge it.
Yeah.
But I'm at the point where all the most useless ones I've already thrown away on vacation. Like on this trip, I only have like 1 or 2 pieces of clothing to throw away.
Oh
like,
my god!
Usually I have like half a suitcase of shit to throw away. So I'm almost at the point with my clothes, but I guess I have accumulated a bit more stuff. But even then, I feel like I do a decent job purging them. Like even my 3D prints, if I don't use it for a month, like I made something stupid and no one wants it, then I just throw it away.
Why don't you try selling it?
It's not worth the effort. Like I hate selling old shit. You know, selling old shit, you call them, I'll come in here on like Monday this time, and they don't show up. And then they say, oh, I'll come in this other time, and they don't show up.
I agree. I think it's so annoying.
Yeah.
I tried selling some things, but then for some reason, the stuff I put up also doesn't sell.
Yeah, I tried selling some of my old badminton rackets, but I guess no one really wants them. I feel like they're like a steal of a deal. Like I'm selling them for pretty cheap, and they're like still pretty good.
Yeah.
But whatever. I guess badminton is not as hot of a sport as it used to be.
Yeah, I would say golfing and bouldering probably.
I think volleyball's gone big.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of the badminton people started playing volleyball.
Oh yes.
And then bouldering also got really big too.
And golf.
Yes, I think probably bouldering even more than golf. Probably.
Oh really?
It's just because golf is so seasonal, whereas bouldering you can do it every day of every
that's true.
month of every year, right?
So I see on social media, fucking everyone goes golfing.
Yeah, I mean it was summer, right? So
that's true.
I mean in the winter only the more rich people who have their simulation stuff at home could really use it, right? Because it sucks. It's one of the sports. It's literally like if you don't go practice like every other day, you're literally gonna get worse.
Why is that?
It's such a meticulous sport because there's not much to the sport. Like volleyball, there's so much to it. There's like blocking, there's hitting, there's defending, there's all this stuff to it. Right?
So bad lately.
Yeah, but golf is literally just your swing, right? So like, you literally just have to keep perfecting your swing, and then the little tiny bits of adjustments to your swing literally make such a huge difference. So that's why it's so meticulous. But it's very gamified too, because when you go to the driving range, you can literally see the numbers you're getting, right? Which is very, very important. You can see the number and the direction you're getting. Whereas in volleyball, are you getting better at hitting? I mean, maybe like this one week you might hit really good, but their blockers might be really shitty, and then the next week you're hitting really even better, but then the blockers are so much better than you. Then it's like the gamified experience is even less in that sense, right? Because you can't really interpret if you're improving or not, or if you're like teammates are shitting the bed, then it's not really up to you, right? Whereas golf, it's like it's you and it's only you, and the more you do it, you literally see this number of like how far you hit or what score you get at golf is changing, and that like gets people very, very addicted.
I see that.
Yeah, and it's
based solely on all your efforts.
Yeah, and it's very, very similar to bouldering, right? Like, you know, we have all these V levels or number levels, what you get up to, you know, how far you can go on each of them. Right, and it gets very, very addicting, which is why I feel like those sports got so. I feel like the generation, which is our generation, that's starting to have money to go to these recreational activities, they liked games a lot. So all these sports that are more easily gamified, they're getting really into it. This is just like the life version of it, right? Yeah. So maybe also the reason why they're not getting kids too, because it's not as gamified.
Yes, yeah. It's also kids are so expensive.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't help the society has made it tough because it feels like the metric to get a kid is you need to get a house first, and the houses are so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the things to afford for a kid is not very much so incentivized.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then it feels kind of bad.
And it takes so much time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of
effort.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just feels like you could do so much more. Because back then I felt like 50 felt old.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh no, like you still have another huge step in your career even at 50.
Yeah.
But
you can do so much even at 50.
Yeah, but back then it felt like you're old when you're 50. So I feel like that
you're about to retire and spend the rest of your life sitting on your armchair.
Yeah. So like the feeling of age has changed. I feel like that's also changed people mentality of getting kids at a certain age too. But we could be wrong. We could be like a gap generation. You know what I mean? Like the generation after us could just actually like having kids more. Mm-hmm. It could just be us fuckers that don't want any responsibility.
That's true. I also feel like there's just so much more available to us at this age than there was prior for us to want to have kids now. Like I would say around the age 30 is when people kind of start having kids and stuff. Back in the day, around this time, I would be like, all right, like there's nothing else left to do in life or like to pursue other than have kids and raise your family and get old and die. But now there's so much.
I think it's because they also had that like mentality of like working one place for like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So for them, it's like there's not much I can or need to do in terms of career.
Yeah,
like, I just have to show up and do
my job, come home. What else is there to do?
Yeah, so maybe they were more bored, whereas here we're like a lot less bored. So then we're like, why do I need kids? I'm not even like I'm enjoying my life right now. It's fun, it's exciting. I'm still doing new shit, right? Yeah. So like, there's no point in getting kids right now. Yeah, I see that as a very valid argument for that. I think so. I think that's a pretty good one too. Yeah. I mean, I think I've only barely talked to Joyce about that stuff.
About kids?
I think we've kind of agreed on the number. We're like at least 4 years out still.
Yeah.
Is what we both kind of mentioned. We're like, I think that's a pretty good number right now. I think we're like, yeah, I think that's about right. Especially nowadays where it's like health technology's gotten better where you could have I assume you could have kids at an older age.
I've actually I read an article sometime, man, I swear the weeks passed by so fast, either this week or last week.
Yeah.
And it was about demystifying the idea, or not demystifying, debunking the idea that your risk while you're pregnant after the age of 30 significantly increase.
Yeah.
That study and that information was during the like 1600s.
Yeah.
But now we have so much information, so much medical support, so much so many advancements in medicine that you can have a pregnancy in your 30s and even like early 40s and you'll be completely fine.
Yeah.
Most of the people nowadays that do that are completely fucking fine.
Yeah, I heard from a mutual friend of ours that has had kids, and she said that I think she told me that the geriatric age for having kids has moved up to 40. It used to be 35.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's literally one of the things I've been talking about for like the last 3 years is that I believe the technology is going to get better to the point where I can have kids a bit later.
Mm-hmm. And
I've had this argument with some people and they're like, nah, it's not going to happen. Technology doesn't get that much better. I was like, dude, I don't know about you, but if I'm going to live forever, I would like to enjoy my time not having kids for a bit longer.
Yeah. Right. Do you think that's a mentality that...
I think the old generation has a mentality.
No, I'm saying the mentality behind saying, oh, if I'm going to live forever, I'm going to enjoy my time before like not having kids. Do you think if somebody really wanted to have kids, they would say that part of it? I'd imagine if somebody always grew up, always wanted kids, they would say something like, oh, I can't wait till I have kids. I can't wait. Instead of saying, oh, I'm going to enjoy my time before I have kids. They think that, oh, my life is going to really start when I get to have my family, when I have my son, when I have my daughter.
I think it's a change of mentality and maturation. It's like when you become more mature, I think that those thoughts also change.
I would say so.
But it's like I know so many people now with kids, and when I see them, it is probably the best it gets. As in, like, when I see them, you know, their kids aren't like their kids aren't acting up. Everything's good right now. Yeah. But I'm sure every other time I'm not there, their kids are whining, crying, they're hating it, and all this stuff is very stressful. Which is why I say that. I was like, it's probably a very difficult, stressful thing to do. Which is why I hope to be more mentally prepared and more matured when I do choose to do it.
But you imagine it to still be rewarding?
Yes. Only because. And I kind of always go back to this argument where it's like, there's a lot of people a lot smarter than me that are saying this, and they clearly have more wisdom than me. So if they have more wisdom than me, they're trying to, you know, show they're trying to teach other people of their wisdom, and that's how, you know, knowledge in the whole world gets passed on. And a lot of them say that, so it's like, well, I don't think they're liars, so clearly there's something to this.
Do you think it's possible that because they can't go back on their decision, it's very hard and not... Yes, you can emancipate yourself from your children, and yes, you can give your children for adoption and just piece the fuck out. But in general, once you have a kid, you have a fucking kid, and you're forever a parent for life. Do you think that for those people, it's because you can't really go back on that decision?
So is why they keep making that...
Have to come to terms with it and have to like it? Maybe.
Definitely the answer is non-zero. There's definitely a non-zero amount of people that is in that boat. But I feel like sometimes they speak about kids like I speak about engineering. Where it's like, okay, like I understand if you're just straight up talking about passion, I understand where you're coming from, because I have that passion too, but not for this, right?
Yes.
So then there is also definitely a group of them, and probably a large group of them, that is similar to what I'm thinking in that sense, right? But no, yeah, I agree. I think some of them do, but I don't think it's all of them. I think I hope it's only a fraction of them, because if not, that means a lot of people are lying to me.
Oh no, like I'm so sure that there's a lot of people who love being a parent and have always looked forward to being a parent. I know a bunch of people who dream of being parents, and they look forward to the day that they raise their own family. But I feel like there's also that factor of people regretting it, but you can't really say it out loud in a way. Yeah. Because you can't look at your son or daughter in the eye and say,
"You're a fucking disgrace."
Fuck. Man, I really should not have had you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, definitely a non-zero number, but I don't think it's that many. But I mean, like I said, I would hope it's not that many, because if it is that many, then, I mean, then you could kind of see some correlations to how, like, X amount of people, percentage-wise, get divorced, you know what I mean? And then I could see that being a factor. Like, you guys having kids earlier than you guys should have, and then that may be leading to a divorce and stuff like that, right? Which is crazy, too, because I don't even know what the percentage is. Is there a new percentage for divorce? What is statistical divorce rate in Alberta? 8.4 per 1,000 married individuals. That doesn't make sense. Wait, 1,000 partners or 1,000 individuals? So it's 500 marriages? Wait, do you know this number?
Married individuals. That's so hard to take away.
Yeah. That's kind of a weird way of saying it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, number of divorces in 2020 was 40.
Oh, it's going down.
Yeah. I mean,
it's going down by quite a bit, actually.
I think it's going down because I think people just aren't getting married. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no point in getting married. I don't know. I feel like some people have figured out the scheme to it. It's like, hold up. Why do
don't get married?
Why do I get the government involved in this relationship right now? Is what I always think of.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so the divorce rate is going down. Because I was going to say, I think...
Can you search up the rate of people getting married too?
How would you even search that? Rate of people... Out of 1,000 people, there's 5.
How many people are, or what did you search up before?
Divorce rate.
Rate of,
In Alberta, 59.9% of the total population aged 15 and over were either married or living with a common law partner. Okay, so 60% of people aged 50 or over in Alberta.
Like half. Holy shit, that's pretty high.
Yeah. And then of those 60%, I guess a fraction, like 8% of them are getting divorced. I was going to say, because I swear, I remember back in the day in the US, it was like 50% of marriages are broken up. Let's see US divorce rates. US divorce rates. almost see, like, I don't know how much I trust this number, but because it felt like an exaggeration, but I'm not sure if it's true or not.
Can you click this one? Does it still say no?
Oh, okay. So wait, this other one says the divorce rate in 2021 remains stable at 14 divorces per 1,000 married women. That's pretty low percentage, no?
Yeah, that's so low.
That's not 50%. You know how I feel like these stats are kind of fucked up. Because okay, the reason
they say something really crazy.
Because the thing I was alluding to is if the 50% thing is true, then technically half of the partners we know will get divorced.
Yeah.
But I've only known one of my friends to ever get divorced.
Let me think.
Maybe like I know one of my friend and then one of my friend's sibling.
I know. Okay, let me see. I know one. I know four.
Okay, but I assume you know a lot of married people. Or no?
I don't know what a lot would be.
Like, with the 4, what's your percentage? Like, for me, the one I know, or the one or some I know, is closer to these numbers, where it's about, like, the 1 to 10% range of the people I know get divorced. The 0 to 10% range is what I kind of see. Like,
I would say it's a very low number. Yeah,
so like that's what I'm saying. When you research this stuff and they say almost 50%, I was like, what are you guys talking about? I don't understand it.
It was like 50% in relationships, but I don't know. Like I've heard that 50 number a lot in a lot of different places.
But I've always been so skeptical about it because like back then I really thought that was a real number. But like right now we're legitimately looking at the data, and the data says like if you're saying 14 divorces per 1,000 married women, that's a pretty low percentage.
That is very low.
That's like 1.4%.
Yeah. Right,
which is very low. And then if we can interpret this Alberta data correctly, which is a little fucked up, it's what 8.4, so that's even lower. So that's literally 0.8% of married couples are divorced. Like that's pretty low. So I don't know why people are saying it's like the craziest thing ever. All this stuff.
50-year look at. Oh, there's a graph.
General
holy shit! Number, what happened in that 1 year?
Yeah. So
Divorce Act reform.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Funny. But it's dropping. I mean, number of divorces in Canada. So right now in 2020, this Alberta thing says it's what 40,000 divorce. I mean, it depends on how many people are getting married too, right? Yeah. And it's not just how many people are getting married; it's how many people are getting married that year, and year over year, compared to divorces too, right?
Oh, you're right.
So I don't know. Like I don't know how to like speak for it, but I feel like that number is like so fucking whack when you hear the 50% thing. I feel like someone was fake newsing us so hard.
I remember when I first heard that, I was like, man, do I just
not know anyone?
No. Yeah, do I just not know enough people?
Yeah.
Or am I in some sort of little box or something?
Yeah. Like am I in a very safe box where people don't hurt each other and shit?
We're all happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of... I've always thought the data was off until like now I see it. I was like, oh, it is kind of off. Like you guys aren't telling the truth here when you guys make these crazy claims.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then if you think about it, it should still be similar to your life, right? If they're talking about...
your life is still a part of this statistic.
Yeah. So then if they say 50, that means like half the marriages we know should have been divorced, but they're not. So it's like, this doesn't make sense at all, right?
That is true.
Yeah. It's crazy ass.
I wonder, what's the percentage of people who are... How do I say this? Maybe married and have children.
Oh.
Versus married and don't have children.
Married couples with families?
With kids.
Kids. Statistic Canada. Oh wow. Okay, so they're not telling me shit.
What the fuck is this page?
Proportion of couples that have children in 2021 was 50%. Proportion of two-parent families are step families, 11. Whoa, that's a lot of porn. Proportion of two-parent families are step families. Damn.
Oh, that's like blended families, right?
Dude, in Pornhub, it's like 80%.
That's blended families, right?
Yeah. Proportion of couples that are common law, 22.7%. So does that mean 22.7% of all couples are common law? Or is it 22.7%? No, that doesn't make sense. No, fuck, man. Some of this fucking stuff is weird. This is why I'm not in stats, guys. Proportion of couples that have children, Canada.
guessing it
is 50% as of 2021. Proportions of couples are common law in Canada is 22.7%. Again, I don't understand that.
Proportion it's all couples then.
Yeah, I guess
that would make the most
proportion
sense.
of couples are married with children is 40.6%.
Oh.
So that means 10% of the people with kids aren't married. But they're a couple still.
Yes.
And then blended families 11.7%. Interesting.
Those are the people from the divorce side.
I'm actually kind of surprised of the 50% number. It seems a little high, a little low, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Proportion of couples that have children.
Yeah, let me think of how many people do you know that are married and don't have kids?
Oh, wait. But this is couples. They didn't say married.
Oh, shit. You're right.
So proportion of couples that have children. This seems reasonable. 50%. Because I feel like half the people I know are couples but not married.
But have children.
But do not have children. And then, okay, so let's say 50% of the people I know aren't married but are couples.
Yes.
And then 35% of the people I know are married with kids. And then a small portion of them are married but without kids.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable, especially in our friend group. It's
really 50% of the people that you know are
couples but aren't married.
Okay, yeah.
And then this also says proportions of couples that are married with children is 40. This is a really low number, 40.6%. So that means 40.6% of the married people.
Well, that is true. That actually kind of.
Because I would expect that to be a lot higher. I would expect this number to be in like the 60-70% range. Of the
That's
6 married couples, or sorry, of 10 married couples, I would expect 6 or 7 of them to have kids.
Yeah.
I feel like
in your life, does that check out or no? That checks out in my life.
Yeah.
Not a lot of the people that I know that have been married for a while have kids. I would say, it's less than half.
Less than half of, okay, sorry, I'm confused.
Or more than half, sorry. More than half.
More than half of the married people you know have kids.
Do not have kids.
Do not have kids.
Do not have kids.
I think mine's the opposite.
Oh, interesting.
I think mine's the opposite half. I think more than half of the people I know that are married have kids. Especially now in the last like 2 years, a bunch of them all popped kids, right? So in the last 2 years, I feel like most of the married people I know have kids. And a smaller percentage of them don't have kids.
That's crazy.
So I mean, this 40.6% is closer to you.
Yes.
And it's actually off for me in my life. But you're closer to the average of Canada then.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're more like normal. Like your life is closer to the statistics of it. That's crazy. Oh, you can even go to Alberta specific. Proportions of couples that have children, Alberta 53.2%. Proportion of couples are common law 60. I thought this would be a little bit higher. Proportion of couples are married with children 47.1%. Oh, it's really close to the half mark. Oh, okay, interesting. I wonder if there's like just one province that's just fucked. Like where's Northwest Territories? No, they're pretty. Proportion of couples are married with children 40. Okay, that still seems pretty normal.
How about somewhere really expensive?
Like BC, you think would be different? I feel like they got that China money pumping into them though. Oh, whoops, wrong one. No, this is normal still.
It's pretty normal.
And this is pretty normal still.
Yeah.
BC, Ontario, 53. Yeah, it's about the same. It's not like it's not some crazy numbers in Canada. We're all about the same throughout Canada.
Interesting.
That's crazy. So did you expect in your life this number to be higher, or I guess with this being close to reality?
I've never really given it any thought, but it's pretty normal for me because I'm not surrounded by a lot of kids. No matter where I go.
I feel like, okay, this is a guy talking here. But I feel like, what's the point if you guys don't get kids? To get married? Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's like you guys could have just stayed partners. You claim common law. I think you get the same tax benefits as a married couple.
I have no idea.
As a common law.
But I think generally, yes.
So then it's like, I mean, as a guy, that's what I say. Obviously, girls are different, right? So girls have different dreams and aspirations as they were kids or whatever of getting married.
I wouldn't say all girls.
No, not all girls. But I think a larger percentage of girls have that aspiration. And I feel like especially relatively speaking, I feel like not a lot of guys care about that as much. And I think girls care about it a lot more.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would say that growing up, I never cared about getting married or anything either because I feel like it's not technically within your control. Like you can't be like, within the next 3 years, I'm going to get married or I'm going to find the love of my life, get married, blah, 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 stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because of that, I've never made it a goal.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've also never looked forward to it or cared about it. So I also have the same perspective as you. I would only want to get married if I felt the desire to.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to take this step or whatever.
Yeah.
And my partner equally wants it as bad.
I always thought the step was more important than the action. So as in like, I felt like the steps of your relationship, as in like living together, and then like, you know, pooling your finances maybe together. Like those are the steps you take. Whereas I always felt like getting married or not didn't change any of that.
I don't think it should. Really.
Yeah. So and I think I never really cared about it, but what changed my mind on it was, and this could be just like false television that changed me on it, but I always thought like, I've seen couples that aren't married with kids that have a wonderful life and they love each other. Yeah. And then I've seen couples that are married and they're going to get divorced or they hate each other or some shit like that, right? Again, this could be like completely falsified by TV and stuff. But then with that mentality, I thought I was like it felt like the fact of getting married or not married didn't change anything. So then why do it? And then as I got older, I started thinking like, well, it's fucking expensive. So it makes me even more.
It can be really cheap if you want it to be.
Yeah, true. But I mean, yeah, it could be super cheap. Then you're still foregoing the wedding per se if you make it super cheap, right? You literally just sign the paper and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? But then at the same time, if you're just gonna sign the paper, again, it goes back to the whole point. Is like, why the fuck would you get the government into it if that's all you want to do is sign that paper? Right?
That is true.
It's like you could just straight up common law this shit, not get the government involved, make everything a lot easier,
make it a lot more simple.
Yeah, and not expensive and shit.
I can see it. I think it's the idea of that sort of tradition that some people look for.
Yeah, it's like
it's been so heavily ingrained into our society.
Yeah. Do you think people care more about the engagement or the wedding?
Ooh. I think the wedding.
Oh yeah.
I think they're both pretty impactful to some people.
Yeah.
And some people make a really big deal.
Yeah.
Out of saying like, oh, I really need this many carats or this specific diamond, or I need it to be a real from the earth mine.
Need it from Leonardo DiCaprio's butthole.
Yeah, something like that. And they're like, oh, I need you to propose like this or like that. But I think for the wedding itself, you hear about bridezillas, and I think that's a real thing.
Do you think your friend's bridezilla? Carmen.
No, she's not.
Oh, she's chilled?
She's pretty chill.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I would say, if anything, she told me that Jordy was the one fussing over flowers, not her.
Oh, really? That's crazy. I mean, maybe as a child, that's what he wanted, though, right? So
for him, it's more like, let's go big or let's go home. I want everything to be perfect because it's my one wedding type of thing.
Yeah. See, I personally think, if anything, the engagement is like for us and the wedding's for other people.
I hate that.
Is how I think.
I wouldn't make everything about me when it comes to that. Or us, sorry.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like that's how it's viewed. Like, that's how I would kind of care about it too. But at the same time, cause the reason I say that is like, I've had friends who got engaged without like big engagement party. It's literally they just went somewhere and
I don't think a lot of people have engagement parties, do they?
I feel like people get like photographers to show up and like some of their bestest friends to show up to the engagement and shit.
I can see the photographer part. So you can have someone capture your moments behind the scenes.
Yeah, but see that, so that feels a little bit more for us though, right? Whereas like the wedding is like, everything has to be captured, everyone's there all the time and stuff. You know what I mean? Like an engagement is like, I want it to be as intimate and the thing that we care about the most. Yeah. And then the wedding it's not like Emperor's Palace is what we care about the most, right? You know what I mean? It's like, it's not because of that restaurant we had to do, you know? So the location has no meaning to it. The people you invite, yeah, they have meaning as in like they're the people you care about, but it feels like it's more for other people. That's my thought process on it.
I can see it. I would for sure, if I had a wedding, want to have a moment where it's just me and my partner.
Oh yeah, that's after the wedding.
No, like during, so we could actually enjoy the wedding. Because I hear a lot of people say that during their weddings, they're always like rushing around doing this, doing that, always trying to follow the itinerary, and they don't actually have time to enjoy the wedding with their partner.
Yeah. Like someone's just pushing them through the day. Yeah. They don't actually like, their brains like shut off.
Yeah, exactly. I would hate that.
Yeah, that actually almost sounds like trauma, doesn't it? Like I heard in again, I don't know much about it.
Is this
This is just me listening to the podcast about trauma, but they're like saying like usually people in trauma, like during the act of being traumatized, they kind of like shut off themselves from it. They like dislocate themselves from the situation.
Yeah.
Like that scenario of the wedding and people just pushing you through and all that stuff feels or sounds like the same thing. Obviously it's not, but it just sounds like it's similar.
Yeah, like bare bones description maybe, but I would say not really.
Yeah, no, I understand. But like
you're walking through the park, you're walking your dog, you're disconnected from the actual walking. I wouldn't say that's traumatizing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, oh, it's just the same act of like you're there, but your mind's away and gone.
What about when you're in class for some people? I guess you could say that's traumatizing for some people.
No, but they're not like actively participating. Like this one, like it's you're like right. You're actively doing something, but your soul, whatever,
your soul is fucking gone.
Yeah, you're in a state where it's just like, what do I do next? Someone's pushing you to grab this and do this. It's like you're in control of your body, but you're not really. But you're still acting everything out that you need to do.
I can see it fully.
I'm not saying it's traumatizing. I'm just saying like I wonder if there's like similarities when people think of like they're not enjoying the experience, right? Because it's just happening.
What else did you take away from this trauma podcast?
I didn't even listen much to it. I heard it was fuck, I don't know actually. Oh, a lot of them become addicted to things.
Interesting.
That was something about that. Like people who get traumatized get addicted to stuff.
And
I was like, am I addicted to anything? And I definitely am.
In what ways?
Like I'm addicted to gaming. But I don't think it's like the same as what people think addictions are.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think the definition of an addiction is when you can't control yourself from doing it or like, getting into it.
Okay, so
can you Google it actually?
The definition of addiction?
Yeah. Be specific.
Like, do you have a good site for it?
Fucking hate it when people use the word to define the fucking word.
How about this one? American Society of Addiction Medicine. Oh god, this is more.
Jesus, there's a background.
Okay, addiction is treatable chronic medical disease involving complex interaction among brain circuits, genetics, the environment, and an individual's life experiences. People with addiction use substance or engage in behaviors that become compulsive and often continue despite harmful consequences. Okay, so two things about that. One, I think on the podcast. So I think what Viv's mentioning is I told her I was listening to this one podcast with Theo and Dr. Gabor Maté or something, and he was saying how a lot of trauma results into addiction. I think the other thing he also said is that he believes that addiction is not genetics; it's actually the result of trauma.
Interesting.
And I thought that's actually kind of true because I know some people say like, oh, I'm an alcoholic, my dad was an alcoholic and stuff. I was like, well, did you become an alcoholic because your dad was an alcoholic, or was your dad an alcoholic and abusive to you and that's why you became an alcoholic, right?
Interesting.
So like you know, which one is it? Because I'm not actually sure if, because I think that's what some people say. They're like, oh, I'm an alcoholic because my dad was an alcoholic because my grandpa was an alcoholic. But I was like, maybe you guys are just passing on the same trauma down, you know what I mean?
Do you think that it can be passed on by genetics at all though?
I feel like that's like a really rare, like I feel like people shouldn't use that as an excuse because I feel like people do use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
As in like they should be thinking
before learned behavior.
Yeah, like maybe it's trauma, not some genetic thing. Because I feel like I think if it is a genetic thing, I feel like it must be super, super rare because it must not be a very valuable genetic trait. So it must not have been passed down a lot. Right? Like unless there's some like okay, so for example, if you have an addiction to violence and stuff, you're more likely to die and not pass on your trait. Right? And if you do pass on your trait, you may or may not end up killing the thing you're passing it down to. And if that trait does get passed down onto, the chances of that child, again, they have that trait now, so they're going to be super violent. They probably won't pass down their trait because they'll either die or for the same reasons as the original person.
What if they just don't die though? Because in this day and age,
no.
Don't just drop dead easily.
Yeah, but I think the percentages are higher. Much, much higher. Like if you engage in street fights and brawls, your percentage and chances of dying is higher, and then your percentage and chances of not mating is also higher, right? Because you're literally, you know, you're just putting your life more on the line, right?
What if it's something like...
So that's why I'm saying, like, I think addiction in general is probably not a desirable trait, but that's at the same time questionable, because if someone's super passionate about something, like say someone painted all the time, I guess some people might say they're addicted, but then that doesn't really fall under the thing of addiction, right? Because there's no real harmful consequences. Or maybe if there is, there's not anything significant. If there is anything significant, will they pass down their genetics now, right?
Ooh, that's a very, very good point.
So then it's like the people who are super addicted, that are super passionate, that are addicted, are they even passing on their trait? And then if they're not, then addiction shouldn't be a genetic thing.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point.
Possible traumatic thing.
Painting.
Yeah, so like when he said that, I was like, I actually kind of see the truth in that, because like I've heard of all the stories where it's like, you know, my grandpa was addicted to this, so I'm addicted. I was like, I don't know, like maybe your grandpa passed on some trauma to your dad that passed on to you for whatever reason, or actually not even for whatever reason, for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
Like again, this is all assumption, but I assume if your dad was abusive to you, I would assume your grandpa was abusive to your dad.
Yeah.
Because he probably learned that from something somewhere, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was kind of interesting learning about that, because I was like thinking, like, am I addicted to anything? Because I wonder if that kind of like relates to anything. I don't think I am. But there is this one thing. It's kind of personal. It's kind of embarrassing, but not that much. But I was telling Joyce, it's like, maybe I'm addicted to porn. Because I was telling her, like, I do jerk off like 3 or 4 times a week.
Is that addicted? I don't think so.
And then she said, like, that sounds pretty normal.
That sounds very normal.
So then I was like, but I watch porn every time. And she's like, that still sounds pretty normal. So then that's what I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if I'm addicted to porn, because that's about how much time I do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that sounds pretty normal. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not addicted to that.
I don't think so. I'm like so sure.
Yeah. So then, but it was cool when they talked about that, because I was like, I see his point. It's impossible to study, which is the sad part. Like, you can study it, but it's impossible to get like facts, conclusive evidence and shit about that, right?
That's applicable. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of see it. I think abusing is a learned trait. Like, I know some people say, you know, the extra Y chromosome or whatever. But
there are some people that are born like extra angry.
Yeah.
Or extra.
But I don't know. I feel like abusing someone is just so.
It's like even psychoticism.
Yeah, yeah. Because like you know that person is in pain or whatever, and you're continually inflicting it, right? Like, for example, if I didn't know as a child that if I pushed you it hurt, and I did, that's not really anything, right?
Yeah.
But if I knew it and I kept doing it, then that's a form of abuse. Yeah. And I probably learned that from something.
I weren't taught otherwise.
Yeah. So I mean, neglect is also a form of abuse, right? So if you weren't taught that, then that's also part of that. So I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I do kind of think that it's probably like I agree with his hypothesis on that, because that seems right. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Because like if you have a perfectly normal family, I assume there won't be trauma, and like perfectly normal as in normal for everyone, right? Like you know those families where it's like the dad's like a professor and stuff, but like they're neglecting their children, right? Because they're so into their own life. Then yeah, that's not the case, right? But if it is truly perfectly normal, then I assume there won't be any abuse, so then no trauma will really be passed down, right?
That's true. I would assume so.
That's what I think, at least. I mean,
yeah, I don't think I have. Do I have any addictions?
Yeah, I mean,
I think I have addictive personality, but not on anything specific.
So that's curious too, because if you have addictive personality. But I wonder how that works, because
I can say how that works. It's because you're addicted to dopamine highs.
Oh, okay.
And whenever you find something to fixate on, it gives you a new dopamine high.
Oh, okay. But I feel like that's different from addiction. Because like maybe have addictive personality, you really like this one video game, but then I feel like for the most part, it won't have any harmful consequences, which I think is one of the major part, right? Continue despite harmful consequences.
I'd agree. Like sometimes during my food fixations, like I'll eat a fuck ton of yogurt if I'm fixated on yogurt, and I'll eat it for all 3 meals, and then my stomach will hurt for like the next few days, but then I'll still eat it because I'm like addicted to eating it. I would say that's still a harmful consequence, even if it's on a minor level.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no, you're right. I do know people with more more likely to have those traits. Like I don't think I'm likely to have those traits.
Or like sometimes I'm addicted to just not sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'll stay up really late every single day.
Yeah.
Until it feels like shit, and I'm like, okay, I can't keep staying up until fucking 6 a.m. and then all that shit, you know?
Yeah, that's weird too, because I assume none of that came from trauma. So then it's just like your personality or something. Yeah. I don't know. Because I feel like
addiction and addicting personality might be different.
Yeah. Because I don't have either of those. So I don't think I have either of those.
Yeah.
Like I could like something a lot and then I could say, okay, it's time to put it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think some people can't do that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm able to do that. Like as in like, oh, okay, it's time for bed, or it's already an hour past bedtime. Let's put it down and go to sleep. Whereas someone else would be like, do that thing till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, and be like, this is my life now.
Yeah.
This is my number one passion at the moment. That's like me.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think I can. It's not even like compartmentalizing. It's just like I know when to say, okay, this is enough. Right.
I would definitely say that I'm a lot better when it comes to my addictive personality now. There's nothing that I really take too far that I can think of. Yeah, I would say nothing at the moment, actually.
So one stat that he also mentioned on the podcast was, so I was going to mention to you about this, but the current thinking from whatever studies is that 1 to 3% of people will meet the diagnostic criteria for a psychotic disorder. So
what's considered a psychotic disorder?
Yeah, actually, let me find that out. But that's crazy because that's a lot of people. 1 to 3%.
It's over 1 billion people.
Psychosis is an amalgamation of psychological symptoms resulting in loss of contact with reality. The current thinking is that although meet diagnostic criteria for psychotic disorder, a significantly larger variable number will experience at least one psychotic symptom in their life. Psychosis is a common feature of many blah blah blah. Hallmark feature of schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorder. It doesn't really say what the definition is, right? But that's kind of crazy because that's scary. I was thinking about that stat when you read it to me. I was like, if there's 30 million people in America, in the US, and there's 1 to 3...
There's way more.
Oh, sorry, 300 million. Sorry. If there's 300 million people in the US, 1 to 3% would mean there's at least 3 million psychotic people. Dude, Fight Island.
How many people are in Edmonton? 1 million?
1 million-ish.
Damn.
That means there's like...
Imagine going to a city and fucking everyone's psychotic.
Wait, there's 1 million people. Even if it's just 1%, that means 10,000 of the people are psychotic. Which is crazy because like that number is actually kind of scary now.
It's
like,
pretty high.
It doesn't matter. Like it only takes one. It only takes one whatever Manson, right? You know what I mean?
Marilyn Manson?
No.
Marilyn oh wait.
No, you're mixing up names. Charles Manson? No.
I think Marilyn Monroe.
No, that's the fucking you're mixing
that's
up.
The girl
Charles Manson. That's the the
Miles Manson. Charles Miles Manson. There you go.
Yeah. No. Marilyn Monroe's a girl.
Yes.
Marilyn Manson, someone else. He's the singer. Yeah, the crazy looking singer, but he's not. I assume he's not psychotic. I don't want to, say that without knowing.
Oh Jesus! Charles Manson has a Nazi tattoo.
But it's crazy because there's 10,000 possibilities of these, but even just one is already scary.
Yeah.
Think about that times 10,000. I was like, that's crazy.
That's freaky,
dude. The other crazy thing is, imagine if you put them all in a competition to like kill each other.
Okay.
Dude, the mega psychotic guy would win, right? You know what I mean? The most psychotic one will win. That'd be something.
Damn, that would be a show. That'd be crazy.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's why I say you put them on an island. Dude, the psychotic one would do some trippy ass, like abusive cult like shit and do some crazy stuff. Like, yeah. Like
that the fucking neurotic people, not neurotic. Yeah, neurotic means normal, right?
Definition. Neurosis is no, it's not.
Neurotic. What's
Just say normal.
Okay.
But there won't be any normal people.
Fucking normal people that are securing the area and watching.
Dude,
imagine if they got tricked by the psychotic people. Because I would imagine, to a degree, a psychotic person, an extremely psychotic person, would be so conniving and so smart that they could probably trick a normal person.
It'd be so. It'd be like
Get Out. They'd be like, "Oh shit! What happened to the one guy that just killed everyone? oh my god, there was a bomb or a nuclear explosion in Russia, dude, like 2 seconds ago. Oh my god, he set off all the codes.
It's fucking yeah. It'd be like some super secure fucking thing.
Yeah,
but that'd be crazy because you would literally see them trying to. Because I feel like a part of them have the hubris and ego to be like, I want to be the most psychotic, or I want to be the best murderer, or something like that, right? So you would just see them try to like literally one up each other in this competition, and they would do some crazy shit, right? Like some unimaginable thing. And the crazy thing is, like, humans can't do that. Like a normal human can't do that. Like we literally be stopped by our morals and ethics to do that.
Imagine if one person was diagnosed wrong and got sent into that ring,
dude. Dude, that's the protagonist of the fucking story.
Holy shit.
That's the anime, dude. That's the anime, and that's the protagonist, or some movie, right? You know, like in the future, there's gonna be like Psycho Fight Island, and they put all these psychotic people, and one person got diagnosed wrong, or one person is like the attorney general's like corrupted and want this person to die, and they send them there. And that's the protagonist that has to like.
He's like, all right, everyone here has something fucking wrong with them.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You need to find out what their quirk is and get out of it. It's fucking My Hero Academia.
Dude, could you imagine if they had teams? Like, you can't even trust that team.
Yeah.
You'd be like, everyone's trying to fucking murk each other or some
Everyone
shit.
has some sort of backup 20-step plan because they're psychotic. So one person just might have zero plan and just might start killing everyone because you can't understand how he thinks.
Dude, I can just imagine the show. Everyone just goes to show. They all take out a death note. What's your name?
Sign your name. This is your name.
They're all getting each other to sign their name because they're like, imagine they're psychotic and delusional. And they're all getting each other to sign their name on books. And like, fucking it work.
Ah, shit, I dropped it.
Dude, that'd be such a hoax. Just like 20 people on an island, everyone brought a notebook with them. Like, you can bring one thing to the island. Everyone brings a notebook.
I'm gonna make sure I differentiate my notebook from your notebook, so I can write my name on this one.
Wait, you want this notebook? Just put your name right here.
And it's all yours.
Because I feel like that was one of the first animes I watched with a psychotic person, right? Like Kira, was it?
Yeah.
Kira was psychotic. Like he was literally just fucked up.
Kind of fucked, yeah.
I was like, damn, could you imagine? I'll just pull a note, like fucking death notes.
That'd be fucking crazy to learn that there was somebody that you knew that was psychotic, secretly psychotic.
Yeah. I mean, I like to know if someone I know was autistic too.
One of my friends told me that she was autistic fucking like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I would never have guessed because apparently it's really hard to diagnose
for girls.
A girl.
Yeah.
With autism.
Apparently they hide it really well.
Yeah,
they hide it really well.
That must be so confusing growing up then, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
to be like, something's wrong, or I feel a little off, or I don't really relate to all my peers.
Yeah.
Or I don't behave the same way as my peers, but I don't know exactly what it is.
So yes, but I also wonder if some of them live a happier life too.
Because
they like the simple things make them happy, right?
Yeah.
Like I assume some of them. Okay, this might sound like really mean, but you know, there's a joke. It's like, you know, autistic people like wrestling and, you know, like very basic stuff like that, right? But they really like
joke.
It's literally like, you know, wrestling and boobies. Like that's what autistic guys like.
Oh, I see.
Right? Those two things, right? So, but I mean, like, I wonder if they are happier because
do you like wrestling?
I mean, I tried to get into wrestling. I honestly tried, but there's no shows coming up in Edmonton.
I know you like titties. Are you autistic?
Yeah. I mean, if that's the lifestyle to live, I wouldn't hate it, I guess. I actually do want to watch a WWE show just because I heard it's pretty bomb. But there's none around here, so I'd have to like go out of my way to fly somewhere to watch a show.
Vegas would probably have some.
No, it's very like they only have X amount of shows a year.
Oh,
it's so exclusive. I feel like WWE shows 2024. Let me see events and schedule. No, not Ticketmaster. Fuck you, Ticketmaster. Oh, I guess there's a bit more than I thought.
What? There's so much more. Look at all these places. There's like 20 on this
But
list.
like for actual WWE shows, I think I think those are wrestling shows, but I think the actual WWE whatever, I think there's not as many. But I'm not sure now. Now that I see this, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not a lot either. So WWE 2024 schedule, January 1st, January 2nd, January 5th, and then January 27th.
was gonna say that almost sounds like every day.
Yeah, but then so 27th, and then the next one would be like February 4th, and then February 24th. So only 2 in February, only 1 in March, only 1 in April. It seems a bit more exclusive. I'm not sure if it's just this one site though. And like during holidays, they have a bit more.
Interesting.
But it's not as common as I thought. So it was kind of difficult to get to. But yeah, I wonder if they're going back to the whole like. I wonder if their lives are a bit simpler. Like obviously, it's tough for their family and stuff like that. But I wonder if themselves, just because of how they are, who they are, if they're just happier, right? I mean, it's hard to judge the happiness factor,
yeah,
because it's so relative. But I don't know. I have thought about it. Like there are some very simple people in life that are so much more happier than me, right?
I feel like it's also a mindset if you're just gonna base it off of being simple.
Well, what I kind of have... So, again, this could be just from TV and, like, illusion and shit. But, like... Again, could be from TV. Like, if someone really loves books and they get to, like, work at a library and they're super happy about that, I mean, I feel like they're just...
Autistic.
They're not autistic, but, like, they're simpler. They like simpler things. They don't care too much about money, obviously, right? Because I assume libraries don't pay the best. They're usually...
I think they actually do.
I mean, typically, they're government funded.
I, like, heard from
I think there's different... okay. Wait.
As a librarian,
how much do librarians make? Librarian wages and salaries in Alberta.
Oh, never mind.
It's pretty
Jesus
average.
Christ.
It's literally average. At the like 50K is average for a person.
Oh, really? I thought it was 60.
It's around. So I think I searched this recently. Household median income is 100K. So that means for 2 people, usually a household. So that's 50K each.
Yeah.
Around. But I think if you're like a librarian at like a university library, I think that's a lot different too.
Can you search it up? I thought it was like 100K. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, it would fucking whack. Actually, it's pretty high. Actually, $40 an hour in Canada in general for median wage and like for librarian. Actually, Alberta's pretty high. 43 averages to like 80 to 90K a year, which is not bad actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like if they just love that, like books and shit, that's like that's what I mean as in like simple, because it's such a
slow life type of thing.
Yeah, it's like a easy to acquire thing.
I don't think so. I think some librarians, you need your master's, which I guess maybe for you that's easy.
No, but it's like they know what they like. Their path is a bit more defined. And if it makes them happy, like that's all that really matters, right?
See that?
I mean, that's what I always think. The simplest people are usually happier. The simple you are in your desires and needs.
I think if your life is less complicated in general, you'd be happier.
If it's less, if it's less complicated. I mean, like if you had way more than enough wealth than you need, then your life becomes simpler because the complexity of wealth doesn't really matter to you anymore.
That
right?
is true.
Of like, where do I get my food the next day? Where do I live? Kind of things like that. Right? Yeah. But once those are met, I feel like everything else isn't too complicated.
Would you imagine that people who live in like Vietnam, for example, I remember you mentioning this when you went to Vietnam, you noticed that people had a more simpler life.
It just felt like they were so much more happy. Like, it just felt like a dinner with their family meant so much more to them than like a celebration of something in here. You know what I mean? It's just like every dinner with their family, with each other, they're all smiling, happy. Life's good.
Do you think they have it set up though?
What I was told is they don't have hope, or they don't have hope for something bad. Like, not hope, but
what?
Like, they don't have a plan for the future because the government fucks them over so much, so it doesn't make sense for them to save money, is what I was told from my parents. So then instead of saving money, they just literally spend their money to eat with their family, and that makes them happy. Right? So it's like, we have these ambitions. Sorry, hope was the wrong word. Ambitions. We have these ambitions to, make all this money, do all this stuff, whereas they may not have that ambition, and maybe that's what does make them a lot happier, but it does
focus on the present more.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Because we as in like a lot of North Americans, we plan 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ahead.
Yeah.
So then sometimes it's really hard to live in the moment when, every dollar you save now is going to go towards whatever.
Something larger in the future.
Whereas for them, it's like,
long-term goal.
Yeah, whereas for them, they don't trust the government, the system. So then they're like, I'll just spend what I have and live right now. Right. So then it does, at least from a day-to-day level, it feels like they're happier. Now, like comparing lives is a lot harder now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be happy day to day until you get whatever disease, and then you're not, right? Whereas in Canada or North America, the healthcare is a bit better. So then even in that state, I could still be relatively okay, right? So then life to life's hard to compare, but definitely day to day, it feels like they enjoy every moment a lot better. I think that's in general for a lot of poor countries. A lot of their people just know how to enjoy their life better, but the hardship sucks.
They dive more into simpler things. I would say.
Yeah.
I would also imagine that at some point, the phrase "more money, more problems" actually adds to it. Like if you genuinely live a simpler life and everything around you is a lot more simpler, then you do also have less stress.
Yeah.
Like you would just focus on, oh, we have food today, tomorrow we have somewhere to live, and that's pretty okay. We have enough money for maybe like food for the next month or two.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much streamlined to go versus here. It's never enough. You always want a better car, a bigger house, your next big goal. You have to save money for this vacation. You want to do this, you want to do that.
Like, I don't completely understand all the finances to your life, but if you had more money, what would the problems you think would happen?
I personally don't think I'll have more problems.
I mean, I can imagine some of it. So if I, for example, won the lottery, I feel like there'd be some like resentment from maybe my loved ones that want me to like share that with them.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. That's an annoying problem, I think.
Oh, I wouldn't think it's a problem because I would share.
I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, right? Like, no offense, but I know you love your family, but if someone's going to ask for money, they're always going to ask for more, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, they'll always think they'll deserve more, even though they may or may not, right? But yeah, like, I think that could be a pretty big problem. And that has been a problem for people in the past that have won lotteries. Like, you know, they have to move out of the town they lived in just because everyone thought like they deserve a piece of that, right? It's almost like if you become uber successful, the people around you think they deserve a part of that because they were what made you
around with you.
But still, it's like you still did it. Like, yeah, they helped you and you should definitely appreciate them for that. But it's not like a monetary value you should appreciate them for.
Right? I can see that.
So then it's kind of, it gets really awkward in that situation, in those relationships, right? Like if you won the lottery, I was like, Viv, come on, man, we're here. Like, what the fuck?
I would.
Yeah. I mean, I actually wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying like that would create some resentment if you didn't give it to me, right? Because I'd expect
and if I didn't feel that way, yes.
Yeah, and like if I expect that and you didn't give it to me, that'll start creating resentment, right?
It's kind of uncontrollable in a way.
Yeah, I think that's one problem. And then the other problem again is I feel like it's like the dick measuring contest, right? It's like, oh, you know, I should get this car because I have this much money. Oh, that guy has that car. Oh, I want more money so I can get that car. I don't actually know many people who have said that outright. But it's definitely, again, like I said, a non-zero number. Like, definitely there are people that do that, but I have no idea who.
Do you think it would be difficult to hang out with some of the same friends as well if you have that much more money and you're like, I always have to wait for you guys to get vacation so you can travel with me or hang out with me, or like I want to do these lavish things but you guys can't afford it, so maybe I should have friends that can afford it.
Yeah, that might be a problem. I mean, I see it not that that's the reason, but right now I feel like all our friends, and this could be wrong because I've never actually talked to them about this, but all our friends aren't willing to take their vacation days.
Yeah. And
I am way more willing. So I'm like one of the few that really want to always go on trips, and none of them do because they're not willing to take vacation because for whatever reason. I can't explain why they can't. They don't want to. But I literally don't have enough every year, right? So I'm always looking for trips and I'm always looking for people to travel with. But I'm already running into this problem, and I don't think it's a wealth gap problem though. It's more of a value problem. Like they value whatever it is, like house, car,
I can also see that. Like around this time, I can see like friends that are valuing having kids or doing this with their life, and some are like, oh, I'm still like this age and I want to travel as much as I can like you, or some friends that are like, oh, I just want to relax and everything right now, or do nothing. Yeah, probably. But I also think you'll probably try to people will try to scam you more for sure. Oh yeah.
I think if you made a lot of money, I mean, at some point, at X amount of money will also come a bit of like fame. Like you can't be $1 billion and you can't be a billionaire and completely unknown. Yeah. Or at least I feel like that's very rare.
Yeah.
Right. Or if not impossible, right? So that will come with like privacy, security, all that shit probably comes with it. But yeah, I think in general, I guess to a certain extent, maybe more money, more problem, but not as much. I think the biggest thing for me, if I ever did, I'm not saying I would, but if I ever got that much money, if I ever won the lottery or something, I think the relationship would be the hardest.
Maybe not problems, but complications. Or your life would be a lot more complicated.
Yeah, and that might create more unhappiness or might reduce the happiness, right?
I think it would also be, in terms of relationships, it would be hard to figure out which relationships are genuinely there for you versus what you can provide for them or bring to their life and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I'd have to be like a hermit crab. Like, can't meet any random people that might...
friends.
Yeah, like, if I made a fuck ton of money, I feel like I'd be a little worried about that. Like, is this person trying to use me, right? And you probably need a really good eye for that really, really quick, too.
Yeah.
Which is annoying, right? Like, right now, I meet people, and most people, if they want to meet me, are genuine about it because there's no other motives. Like, I don't provide anything. Like, I don't provide shit except for who I am, right? So it's nice in that case, as in, like, everyone I meet is probably genuine in terms of, if I do talk to them, they probably want to talk to me back. Or if they do reply, they do want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Just for that, the sake of talking.
I'd imagine it'd be really taxing, exhausting whenever you meet someone to have to automatically have
think that. Yeah. You'll be so jaded.
Yeah.
You'll be so cynical and stuff.
For sure.
Like, we'd invite guests to our show and they'd be, oh, you're going to pay me for this? I'm like, just because I won the fucking lottery, it's not, you know what I mean?
Just because this podcast makes millions of dollars every episode? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't think
you're getting clout from being on here.
I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think recently Spotify was like, oh, we're changing our terms and stuff for payments and stuff, so they update your information. I was like, I don't get money from you guys. I was like, I don't know what information you want me to I don't know what information you want me to update.
What the fuck?
Because I don't get jack shit, man. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool one day if it did make money, but I think that'd be a different venture. Like, that have to be so specific.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice that we could just still be who we are and the podcast set up as it is. But for it to make money, I can see why it needs so many changes.
Have you heard? Yeah, for sure. Have you heard of JK News? JK News?
No.
Or JK Films?
No.
You search out.
They're pretty big.
I'm kind of surprised. They're old.
Oh, yeah. I know some of these folks.
Yes. So I was listening to one of their chats recently.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that during the height of their popularity with their channels, their YouTube channels, they were making about 200 grand a month.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fucking crazy. Yeah. And then the things that they focused on was being purely themselves and skits. Just off of JK News, they said they made like hundreds or at least tens of thousands of dollars a month.
I mean,
from just chatting and being themselves, which I thought was pretty crazy.
I mean, we say that, but we also know like the editing, the production.
They put a lot of effort.
They probably have a production team of like 3 or 4 people, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably full time too.
Yeah.
So like, imagine you have to pay 3 or 4 people a full time salary. Let's say they make 80 grand a year, right? So in 1 year, you have to make at least like 400K to pay these other full-time people, right? So I mean, it's not, I'm not saying we can do it with that amount and production team and stuff, because they obviously have something that we don't have, but I also think like to do it in a way that you want to make money, you got to change things up a lot. Like you need the camera set up, you need the studio set up and all that stuff. But it's cool because like now that we've done this and tried this, like if I ever do want to do that, which I don't, I would know like, hey, these are the things that actually need to be done and are actually valuable to that. Yeah.
I think this is a very, very interesting and unique experience to have.
Just doing podcasts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, I guess we can mention that we're like our 3rd year anniversary. So, I mean, I think our 3rd year passed like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, it's interesting. I think not a lot of our friends do it. I'm actually very impressed by your commitment. Because I'll be honest, like when we first started, I was like, oh, if she doesn't keep doing it, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to doubt you on this, but I knew my commitment was going to be however long I chose it to be, which could be forever, right?
Yeah.
But I was like pretty doubtful for you at first. I was like, I don't know if she's actually going to last this long, because I could go for a pretty long time, right? But regardless of that, regardless of you know, whoever watches it or doesn't watch it. I'm actually pretty impressed that we did it for 3 years.
Me too.
Because it's like almost every week for 3 years. I mean, it's not exactly every week because we take weeks off, but we do like double ups.
Yeah.
On like previous weeks, just
I
to
would
make
say
sure.
it's like 80%, 85% every single week.
Yeah, yeah. And then in terms of like posting it, I think we post almost like, I want to say like 95%, 99% of the time we post every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think on the rare case, we take like a week off in Christmas or something like that. And then maybe a week off in summer just because we get really busy.
Yeah.
But
otherwise, it's been pretty fucking consistent.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Do you think, okay, so it's been 3 years. How much have you changed, you think? In terms of conversations, podcasts, things like that?
Ooh. What do you mean by conversations? Like how I speak?
Yeah, part of it, yeah.
I think I am a lot better at not using filler words.
Okay, that's good. 100%.
I would imagine that even in my daily life, I notice that I use very little filler words, and I'm very keen on noticing other people when they use filler words.
Yes.
And when people stutter, when people are inefficient with how they converse,
yeah,
I feel like I notice that so much more now.
Yeah.
When it comes to projecting my voice, I think I'm a lot better.
Yes, you are. Factually.
I don't mumble as much.
Yeah. I think I still mumble quite a bit. But I think relative to the beginning, it's been a lot better.
In comparison to the beginning, for sure.
I think so as filler words, I still use them, and it annoys me that I do, but relative to the very beginning, it's been a lot better. I think thinking on the spot's been a bit better for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, on the spot thinking, and then the and question, right? So when someone says something, to reach out and grab more information, I think I'm better at it. But the problem I have is that in a normal life situation, I don't care, so I don't do it. But in the podcast,
I see a conversational thread and I'm leaving it hanging.
Yeah, I literally know the words to say to leave this hanging if I don't want it to keep going. So sometimes I just be like, I'm done with this. But if I do want to reach out, I feel like it's easier for me now in a conversation to like go beyond just the basic stuff.
I definitely think it's all easier to, even though I don't care for it in a real life scenario, to have water cooler talk and to have casual talk with random people, but keep it decently engaging.
Yeah. I feel like I'm less boring when I talk to people now. Because back then, it felt like in my life in a year, there's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cool things that may have happened in that entire year.
Yeah.
But now, because we always ask each other, how's your week? I find interesting things about every week now.
Yeah.
Because I literally just will say like, hey, this week I did this. It was so cool, or it was so interesting. And then, yeah, it feels pretty cool, I guess. Like being able to create a conversation topic out of quote unquote nothing, right? Which is just what you did this week, right? I feel like that was pretty cool. Because back then I would be like, yeah, what'd you do this week? I have nothing. I have no idea. Like, I didn't do anything.
Pretty much nothing, yeah.
But then all these little things like, oh, I listened to the podcast about this and I thought that was pretty cool. I was talking about books. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was talking about, you know, just random stuff that we read about or we listen about or the videos we watch or what we saw. It all like sparks something different and new that like goes down a giant rabbit hole.
I think one of the parts that I like a lot with the podcast is that it allows us to chat about things that I otherwise wouldn't really have the space to chat about it with anyone else in my life. Yeah.
100%. Because I think normally, like on a day-to-day basis, I talk to Joyce the most, but it's literally through text. And just sometimes something cool happened, but I just won't really talk to her about it just because it didn't really come up or she was busy and things like that. And the next day comes around and there's no point in talking about it. But then when it comes to this podcast, like you go through and you think back to the stuff you did this week and then you like find all the cool little neat things you did.
Yeah.
And that's cool because normally those would be like just things that happen. No one really ever talks about it. But when you do, it's kind of cool because I think other people can relate to that too.
I agree. Or it just doesn't come up in context in anywhere.
Yeah.
So you don't really have an excuse to talk about it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool because I don't ever remember tracking my life as interesting in the past, but you know, being able to speak for an hour and a half a week about what I did that week or random topics.
Things that are on your mind. Topics that you don't even talk about with friends. I think that's also very interesting. Yeah,
I think I've said this before, but it's like until you speak your thought, you actually don't formulate the thought properly in your mind. So then when you actually start speaking it, you have to rationalize it. And when you rationalize it, I think you think on a deeper level now. Because like sometimes when I'm speaking to you, I'm trying to convince you of something sometimes, right? Where it's like, I have this idea or this thought, or I heard about this idea and thought, what do you think about it? This is what I think about it, right? Maybe not convincing as a way that I'm trying to like dupe you or anything like that, but I just want to convince you that this is what I think and it's the right idea.
Yeah.
And then I want to hear what you think and see if that's the right idea. Right? Not very confrontational. Like if you imagine what I'm saying, it's a very like just lackluster, chilled version of that, right? And it's kind of cool because you learn to rationalize and put your thoughts in logical order so you can explain to someone else, right? Because we will call each other out on these bullshit if we don't think it's right.
Yeah.
Because we do that all the time. It's like way harder with a guest too, right?
Exactly. I think having all these different guests and dynamic types of personalities on the podcast also adds to, what do I want to say here? Adds to my experience of talking to different people and in different contexts. Because when you don't really know somebody, usually your conversations go through the same paths. They're very generic. You don't really dive deep. But when we have guests here on the podcast, we can pick what topic we want. We can dive as deep as we want. And we can almost create the atmosphere for them to have to open up in a way.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting scenario to experience.
I actually wish we brought on more difficult guests. Like we've had some difficult guests.
Yes.
And I feel like we haven't brought them back because it was so difficult. Not because they suck, but it's just like, I don't know, the flow of it wasn't right.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would train us better.
To get that out of them.
Yeah. Because factually, it'll be a shittier show for people who are listening.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but like some guests, it's just hard to pull information from them. The flow of their speech is like different.
Or
their thought process is different.
They don't know how to interject as well, so we have to consistently pull them in, rope them in every time.
Yeah, it just doesn't flow as easily. But if we got them on more often and got them, dude, that'd be like us training, you know, the training arc.
Sick.
Yeah. But it'd be tough too, because you can kind of see that they're also not enjoying it too. So it'd be kind of cruel to put them through that. But if they're willing to, that means they're also willing to like get better. Yeah. But typically people who are willing to come on the show, they already have the open-mindedness, because it's not really a normal thing.
It is.
Yeah. So then even if they're like, as soon as they're willing to come on the show, I feel like they're already very open to talking, interjecting, adding their tidbits.
I agree.
I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, I don't know. Do you have any goals for this next year? I don't know how much longer we'll last. I hope another year. Every year I hope another year. So it's happened 3 times already. So we'll see. I just want
maybe use more articulate words.
Oh yeah, word of the day bullshit or what?
Yeah. What? Why'd you say bullshit?
Because that's
I was so excited.
Toastmaster thing.
Yeah.
Word of the whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably wrong about this, but I always thought like, you know, Toastmaster. The groups I went to felt kind of fake.
I know your experience with Toastmasters wasn't great, but mine was amazing. Not amazing, but mine is pretty good. Dude,
for mine to be good, I need like a wild one. Like we're gonna go on. We're gonna talk about Trump. We're gonna talk about COVID. We're gonna talk about.
I would like that. They were riveting. I felt emotion. I would leave and be like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for next week." Or I would hang out with some other people afterwards. Yeah. I would look forward to it.
Yeah. Maybe I just joined the wrong club. So
I think so.
I just felt like it was too happy-go-lucky. It was like, oh yeah, we're all doing good. Everything's fine. I'm like, no, I want the emotions.
I would have my jaw on the fucking floor with some speeches.
Oh yeah.
I went and listened to some people's speech competitions on like the weekends, because I would think like, oh my god, you are usually so good with speeches. You're going to a speech competition. I'm gonna go listen.
Yeah. That shit's crazy, actually. Yeah. Listening to some of those, I was like, holy fuck, these guys
it's literally like TED Talks.
They're so captivating. Like they could sell me something. They could probably sell me a timeshare. They could probably sell me a timeshare. Yeah. I mean, I think I just have to get to a better one too. But I also have to really want to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, how much time can you commit in a week with all the things you're already doing? And then if you can't, then what are you willing to sacrifice in order to do this, right?
That's true.
But again, that's the whole like beginner's mentality, right? So there's like half of me that wants to do that, and half of me is like, I enjoy the time I have with my friends. I want to keep like building that relationship.
You've also invested enough time into it that you said you would. Testing out Toastmasters.
Yeah, I did do it for like 3 months, 3 or 4 months. But I mean, you could be right. I could just have like a bad sample set.
Right? I think so.
So maybe I'll do it again some other time. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I just want some, fun guests, cool stuff going on. Maybe some new show ideas. We've had some that failed, like the whole food one. I think failed. Kind of. It's just so hard because I understand the frustration. Like no one's ever voiced this frustration, but if I were to hear one about like the best sushi in Edmonton and I couldn't even fucking see it, then I would be frustrated as fuck. And I don't think we want to do video.
No.
But like for the sake of just building a studio, that would be fun. Like just to build a studio, not even like just cause. I think that's always fun because I always like those DIY projects. So that would be sick too. But I don't think I could do it from the beginning of the podcast for the next couple of years. I don't think it's doable unless I got my own place or if you got your own place. But yeah, other than that, then just cool guests, more conversations, maybe get deeper stuff.
Dives. Yeah.
Finally find my trauma.
Oh my god, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get traumatized within the near future and we'll have so much to build on.
Just bring so many traumatized people on the show that I'm just like, oh, me too.
I relate.
The Me Too moment. So far, it gets so awkward when they talk about that. I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. My parents loved me.
Do I clap here? Do I?
Hey, sometimes when people talk about their traumas and stuff, in my mind, I'm just like thinking of so many jokes. It's like, I can't say these right now. I can't do it. It will hurt me more than it hurts them. I feel like such a dick, but I want to say this so bad.
Whisper into the mic so they don't hear it unless they listen to the podcast after.
Yeah. It's like in the back of my mind, that's all I'm thinking about at the moment. I was like, oh, dude, I could riff on this so hard right now.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to end off now. It's about time. Anything else you want to
add? Have a happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah, happy Halloween. It probably just passed, so hopefully you guys got good candy.
Have fun. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. Don't touch kids.
Don't play with Ouija boards.
Yes. None of that scary shit. And then right after Halloween, it's like, what, full-blown Christmas? Usually that's when people set up for Christmas, right?
I'm so excited for Christmas. I love Christmas.
Yeah. I think I'll get that tingle probably like mid-November. Yeah. Like there is a time of the year where I do get very like Christmas. Like I enjoy, the carols, the smell, the whatever it is.
The whole festivities.
Yeah. Yes. So I'll be excited for that and excited to talk about that too. All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.